Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so namaste and welcome. We have Amir now to take us through a guided meditation, so please welcome Amir. I need to block your ears.
All right, Haribol everyone, welcome. So we are going to have 15 minutes of guided meditation together now, where we are going to close our eyes and have a little bit of journey within. So without further ado, please sit in a very comfy position. Shoulders back, head upright, and gently close your eyes. So we start by trying to attend the present moment by focusing on our breath. As long as the person is living, whenever he faces it, the breath is going to be there. And focusing on our breath in an attempt to prepare for our meditation allows us to stop the mind to go to the past or future, or to go to the different places other than where we are. We tend to inhale through the nose because nose filters the air, and because by inhaling through the nose we can absorb the subtle energy in air, also called chi or prana. Let's take a deep breath in through your nose and deep breath out. One more time, all together. Deep breath in and out. You'll find that the inward breath is refreshing and the outward breath is relaxing. We are now going to add the mantra Gauranga to our practice, turning that into a full meditation practice. The mantra Gauranga has 4 syllables: Go, Ra, An, Ka. This wonderful mantra means the golden Lord of love. So we are going to join the guys in the background, taking the breath in and to say the mantra Gauranga on the exhale. Let's listen to one more mantra, and then from the second mantra we join these guys. Let's join. Deep breath in. Let's do 2 more. Keep your eyes closed, and without repeating the mantra, try to allow it to resonate in your mind and your head. Keep your eyes closed, and we do a little bit of attentive listening meditation on Gauranga. So this time round, just try to immerse your mind in the beautiful Gauranga mantra. And if you find that your mind wanders, just become aware of that and bring your focus back to the mantra. Gora Anga 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 Gora right, guys, please bring your focus back to the room and where you are sitting, and become aware of the room and people around you. And if you like, you can gently open your eyes now, putting your palm together, creating some nice warmth, and massage your face. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. And I now would like to invite our dear friend Jiva Krishnadas to come and give us a beautiful talk on spirituality and yoga wisdom. Haribol.
Namaste, everybody. So, yeah, we just at that part of the program where we're just going to speak for a few minutes about our yoga practice and our chanting that we do here every week. So we one of the interesting things about yoga. Is everybody's heard of the common saying? I think it's a common saying. Your mind can make hell out of heaven or heaven out of hell. Yep. Everybody has heard of that? It's common. It's a common thing. It's very interesting. I was just came up a little while ago when I was trying to think about what I'd talk about tonight, and it reminded me of an interesting aspect of yoga. Somehow or other, that saying has entered into common culture, right? Isn't it? It's a common thing, and it's common sense. It's something we all experience, but it like so many other things that have entered into common culture, it's actually a teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. In the Bhagavad Gita is, for those of you who may not be familiar with it, basically this is the textbook of all yoga practice. You could say it like that, ancient yoga text, and which people all over the world refer to when they're trying to understand what yoga is. And so in the Bhagavad Gita, it's put a little bit differently. It's said. I'll have to paraphrase because I can't remember the exact quote, but basically it's for a person who's controlled their mind will be the best friend. But for a person who's failed to control their mind, then the mind becomes like an enemy. So it's, saying the same thing but in a slightly different way, in a more structured way, I guess. For a person who's controlled their mind is their best friend. If you fail to control the mind, it's like an enemy. And isn't that what so many of us are suffering from, the uncontrolled mind? I mean, people are, one of the common reasons why people express they want to get into meditation is, I want to have some peace. Peace from what? Your mind. My mind is driving me nuts, man. There's so much stress and agitation going on in the mind for different, for each of us it might be slightly different specifically. But in general terms, we're all suffering from the same thing. We're all longing for stability, and whether we use the word satisfaction or some kind of contentment, isn't that the common? People are looking for a bit of calmness where they're not worried about stress and so on. And so this is what the whole yoga program is all about. It's about understanding the situation firstly, and then having that foundation of understanding what's going on. Then we can understand better how to move in the right direction. So these two things, the foundation is really important, because a lot of people just sort of just dive into, you know, one kind of cure or another without really understanding the nature of the problem. You know, like people oftentimes, you know, they don't know what's going on. They don't know why. I'm going to do meditation, because they don't know why they're doing it, other than, you know, of course they want looking for some relief, but they don't know the specifics of what's going on or why. So in you know, yoga teaching, a lot of emphasis is placed firstly on the foundation, understanding the nature of the problem. So it's, you know, we always mention it, it's temporariness. You know, we're looking for, if you ask any person about what their problem is, it'll be some kind of dissatisfaction with the moment for one reason or another, and looking for, you know, some kind of satisfaction. Okay, how can I move from this dissatisfaction to just feeling okay now? Everything's all right, you know, I don't have to worry anymore. How do we get to there? So, you know, common goal, whether we think of it in terms of yoga practice or just ordinary everyday people, this is what everybody wants. It's not like, you know, the people who do yoga have got a different goal. We're all after the same goal. We're all looking for some kind of contentment. So what's the difference? The difference is in yoga teaching, there's a specific understanding of the problems, and then from there, you know, can move to the actual solution. The actual solution, as distinguished, as differentiated from, you know, a make-believe or temporary solutions. So this is, you know, what we're doing. And when we're chanting, of course, and meditation, these mantras are like the doorway to that place of actual satisfaction, where we can just relax and not worry about things so much and tune into. So what's that place of permanence? That place of permanence is when we get to experience our true spiritual nature. That's the place of permanence. And when we say our spiritual nature, we're not just talking about me, we're talking about our spiritual nature, our complete spiritual nature, and our relationship with the divine. So we sometimes, you know, like I just did then, we talk in, you know, in broad terms, we say the divine, and somebody goes, well, what do you mean by that? That means something different to everybody. So sometimes we, you know, speak in broad terms like that to make it so that this practice is accessible to many people as possible. And then, but tonight I was going to, you know, try and get a little bit more specific and explain exactly what this divine is. So what, you know, when we say the divine or the supreme or the absolute truth, these are broad terms, but what does it actually refer to? It refers to an actual supreme soul. There's a supreme soul. So what does that mean? Supreme soul. Someone might think of, so, well, we're all little souls, and there's a supreme soul from which we've all come. So we often, you know, to make this distinction, we often use, or in the yoga text, it's used, the example is given of a great fire and little sparks of the fire. But even that is like, okay, that's sort of like not very clear either, is it? It gives us an idea. So when we talk about the supreme soul or the divine or a higher power, we're talking about, in the yoga text, they use this expression, the supreme person or the supreme personality. So now we're getting a little bit more quite specific. So all of us is like a little individual soul, and there's a supreme soul, that supreme higher power. We don't, like to use the word God so much, but, that's the common term for what we're talking about. When we're talking about union with the divine or union with the higher power, we're talking about union with God, and we're talking about a relationship, a spiritual relationship. And that is, the highest understanding of yoga. So we say sometimes, like myself now, sometimes we say it openly like that, sometimes not so openly. And like I said, the reason is that if you say the word God, people often get very, is this a religion of some kind? What are you doing here? I thought this was yoga. What are you doing talking about God? And I bring it up because, again, it happens to me periodically. Sometimes the phone here, we take calls and the phone is rerouted to my number. And, it happened again the other day. It happens quite regularly. People ask about our programs and so on, and then the question comes, it's not a religion, is it? And I'm kind of like, here we go. How do I answer this question? Is it because immediately, the person, and I understand it and I kind of get it, where the question's coming from. Immediately this person's thinking, religion is kind of like a bad thing, and if this yoga is kind of religious kind of yoga, then I'm not going to be interested. So, I told the person, look, and I made the distinction. I said, look, there's definitely a spiritual component to yoga practice, but is it a religion as such that you join or something? No. I said, no, it's not. And I said, look, just come along for the meditation and see what see what you experience and see what it's like. And if you like it, come back. If you don't like it, well, that's okay too. So I didn't know her name or anything, so I don't know who it is. Might be sitting here right now, I don't know. but she, anyway, so that's how, but to try and make the distinction, we do it every now and again, this question comes up, so I try and address this point. And there's a lot of different ways to talk about it, but going back to what I was saying earlier, what yoga is, it's about a spiritual relationship between us and the divine, a higher power. Now, somebody might see that as, well, geez, man, that's religion. Why did you say, well, it's not religion? So there's a verse in the Bhagavad Gita which is very interesting in this regard. It comes right at the end. It's like a type of summary where Krishna is speaking to Arjuna, and he's basically coming to the end. He's saying, just abandon all varieties of religion and surrender unto me, and just put your love on me. So this is what we're doing here when we're meditating, when we're talking about our connection with the Supreme, with God. This is the ultimate experience of yoga. There's no higher yoga experiencing than experiencing that spiritual love. And so he's saying do that, but so why is he saying, normally we think of that as religion. Oh, relationship with God, that's religion. But he's saying no, abandon all varieties of religion and just do this. So, he's saying, what does he mean by religion? We can understand religion in different ways. Generally, people think, is this the club you join? You've got your Christian religion, different kinds of religion within Christianity. You've got different kinds of Islam, I guess. I don't know them all. There's so many different kinds of religious groups, correct? He's saying, give up. Give up all kinds of that joining mentality. Give up that joining mentality that you have to, be a part of a group. Whereas what Krishna is talking about in the Bhagavad Gita is a personal spiritual experience. So, yeah, we can come together and we chant and so on, and we try and have that spiritual experience together, but it's not like we have to join a group. Like you come here tonight and we have our meditation session, right? And everybody's, got their own individual experience that you're having. And that's it. At the end of the night, you go home and maybe you meditate some more on your own at home. And so this is not something that you join, in other words. That's the main point we're trying to make here. In other words, what this person was afraid of was, is this some kind of religious club that I have to join? And, so I was answering, no, it's not. Is there a spiritual component? Yes, that's what I'm explaining to her. And that spiritual component is we can't avoid that. Sometimes we teach in different ways, you can relax and so on with the mantras, and, we can explain the effects of chanting or mantra meditation in a broad kind of way, and that's well and good. And, some of our teachers do like that. Nothing wrong there. But, for myself and some of the others, we like to just get a little bit more specific and just get into a little bit more detail of what we're actually doing here. When we're chanting, it's not just, in a deeper sense, it's not just an experience, a self-contained experience. Does that make sense? A lot of people go to yoga or meditation, everybody's sitting there like this, and it's a self-contained experience. I'm sitting here and I'm working with my mind and I'm trying to control my mind so that I can have this experience on my own. I'm going to experience something nice. That's what a lot of people see meditation as, a self-contained experience. Real yoga is not that. It's not just you. When we're chanting the mantra, it's not just for me, in a sense. The mantra is our connection to a whole world, another world. It's our connection to the spiritual world. And at the center of that spiritual world is the Supreme Soul, the Supreme Person, the Supreme Personality. In the yoga texts, in the Bhagavad Gita, you find, the Supreme Personality of the spiritual world, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as it's sometimes written. If you read Bhagavad Gita, you'll find that expression used a lot. So this is what we're doing, and this is where the calmness, the going back to the mind, the controlling the mind, or having the mind, what were we saying before? The mind can make hell out of heaven or heaven out of hell, as we were saying earlier. Where the mind is going to find, where our mind is actually going to find that peace, that place of harmony, is in this spiritual relationship. That's the teaching of yoga. That's where the satisfaction's going to be found. And everybody, so many people, no, we don't like that. That's religion. Don't like that. We're going to either go back to our, trying to find some self-contained spiritual experience, just me, here I am, experiencing something on my own, or, we'll go back into, trying to find satisfaction in the temporary material world, which most of us do, right? We're all looking. And the mind is, like if you go, I sometimes spend a bit of time on the internet, checking out the news and current events and so on. And at the end of a little session, my mind is just spinning a lot of the time. Like, for example, the last few weeks, I'll get very controversial now. I always end up saying something controversial. The last few weeks, right, or the last month, ever since the Ukraine war, right? Vladimir Putin, bad. He's Hitler, he's this, he's that, and he's just copying if you go to the normal mainstream media, this is what you find everywhere. Nobody's nobody can say anything good about the person. If you try and say something good about that guy, or something that he's done good, or that maybe we don't understand the situation properly over there, then you just get hammered. You can't say that. Not unless you want to get criticised by everybody. But, so here's the controversial thing. I read another article today. I actually read a speech that Vladimir Putin made the other day. You can find it. And I'm reading this thing, and he's saying this and that, and he's explaining all this from his point of view. And I was like, this makes sense. So at the end of it, so to try and deflect anybody that wants to jump on me and how dare you say that about this bad person, at the end of it, I was I realised that I didn't know everything. My knowledge of the situation was limited because my sources were, who knows? We all know that the media often lies, for one thing, right? So we can't believe everything we read in the media. So on one hand, we get this opinion, that opinion. So at the end of it, I'm like, I don't know. I'm sure there's another side to the story. But one of the things I was saying, and a lot of people are saying, instead of this all-out push to war, let's have some dialogue. Can we meet? That's what they used to do in the Cold War, and that's why the Cold War ended eventually. The people respected that, hey, here's a person with a point of view, let's try and find peace. But anyway, these are the kind of things that are going on if you read the news. That's just one thing. And it creates a lot of turmoil in the minds of a lot of people. But this is the nature of the material world. Well, it's what, a more general point we can make. There's always, you ask any historian, what's history? It's just a story of one war after another. People, and why is there wars? Because people want more. Whether it's on the international level or the local level, whether it's somebody robbing your house, breaking in and robbery, what's that? That's just war on a more local level. It's the same thing. What are they fighting over all the time? The oil, this thing, that thing, this. So this is the story of material life, and it's why there is so much ongoing turmoil altogether. And those of us who are looking for a little peace, we're all trying to find in some way, trying to find our little corner of the material world, our little, just, hey, I've just got my house and just leave me alone now. Even that gets disrupted. Just when we thought it was all, things are all happening, then, Anyway, so this goes on and on. There's the temporariness of the material situation. Imagine the poor people in Ukraine. One minute they're cruising along and they're, just kind of like Australia or any other country, people are doing their sports and they've got their jobs and all of a sudden they're getting attacked. this is what's the solution? The solution of yoga is not so much that you're going to solve all these problems. You're not, but you transcend the problems. Everybody get the difference? There's a difference. You're not going to solve everything, but you transcend it. And you transcend it by tuning into your spiritual nature more and more and not worrying so much about, we're not going to fix all the problems. We'll try as much as possible, and we hope our politicians will come together and fix it as much as possible. But ultimately, you know, like we say, look back in history. Where in history can you find peace? You know, ongoing for a long time. You know, isn't it? In the 20th, you know, First World War, 20 years later, the Second World War, Korean War, Vietnam, all the things going on in the Middle East, Africa. Painting a rather bleak picture here. but it's not an artificial picture. This is just relating the reality. So this whole world is full of turmoil because, you know, because people are trying to make it right, trying to make it, or trying to find their satisfaction in the material world. There was a famous economist from many years ago who my teacher used to quote all the time, E.F. Schumacher, and he, I think it was a similar statement. I think the statement originally came from Gandhi. You know, there's enough for everybody's needs, but there's not enough for everybody's greed. You know, they talk about how the resources are running out. There's not enough. No, there's enough. There's tons. It's just that the way some people have become greedy and they want more and more and they hoard, that, you know, there's more than enough for everybody's needs. But because they create artificial needs, then, you know, then there's not enough. I can't remember the details exactly, but I remember, you know, due to economic reasons, sometimes they have a huge harvest in some country, more than what they can sell properly. And rather than just give it to people, they'll actually burn it. They'll destroy the food just to keep their prices, just to make it so that some people maintain their profits. This is the kind of thing that's going on. So, you know, as much as possible, we're here trying to let people know, you know, just as, and who are we? You know, we've got our jobs and we've got our ways of getting by and so on, and we do that, normal people. So we do that, and we must do it, we do it. And if we happen to be wealthy, if we're born into wealth, for example, or we have, fine, that's not a problem. That's not against yoga practice, whatever it is. But we should, whether we're wealthy or we're poor, we shouldn't get into having to struggle. We shouldn't struggle to try and get more and more and more. It's just crazy. Because we're just playing the game then like everybody else. We're just struggling and we're just little versions of those big guys who are trying to. So yeah, do as much as we do, but realise that our material situation is very temporary anyway. And so this is what yoga is always pointing us to. Go, try and tune into the eternal, our spiritual nature. Because at the end of this body, we continue to exist, the spiritual soul. We go on. And again, it's not just me having some kind of self-contained experience on my own. The ultimate experience is what? Everybody knows, love. That's what we all want, a loving relationship with somebody, isn't it? But, you know, for many of us, we get, you know, jaded, hurt, I won't ask the question. It'd be an interesting question to ask. Who has actually been hurt by in a loving relationship and has actually been hurt or burned in some way and feeling like, oh God, I'm going to be careful before I do that again? Me. There's another one. But the desire itself for love never stops, does it? You're still looking for that. You know, you can become a hermit. I'm going to go to the mountains and live in my little cabin with my fire and my food. And, you know, how many people want that? I think a lot of people want that. But then you're on your own again, aren't you? And before, I used to have this thing when I was a young lad with some of my friends. We were kind of hippie type people before I got into meditation, and we'd go off to the farm and so on. We'd go to the farm and the fresh air and get away from the cars and the city and everything. And so we're up there enjoying the country, and you know, after 2 days, someone said, "Oh, let's go to the pub," you know, because it got boring up there. So this is a whole other interesting subject. It's called the Mukti Bhukti syndrome is the official yoga term for it. We go looking for pleasure in the material world, then we get burnt or it's not satisfying, then we want to head for the mountains, or, you know, if we can't go to the mountains, we go to our room or our house and shut the door and try and escape the world. But then after a little while, we get lonely and bored and so on, so we come back down. Yeah, so dinner's ready. That means I have to stop soon. Just another, you know, so this is why, you know, just going back to that point, the solution to all this is to tune into our spiritual nature. And not just our spiritual nature, that's the first step. We tune in, we start that, we hear about how we're spiritual in nature, and then our knowledge increases and we get to experience, oh, it's not just me, I have a natural spiritual relationship with the divine. And this is our eternal world. People sometimes talk, you know, one of our teachers used to call it going home. We want to go home. Isn't that, sometimes we feel like that? You know, everybody has a concept of home, especially when we were kids, go home. People have it, you know, Christmas was all that time we get together, or different cultures have different sort of days when they want to go home. In the United States, it's a big thing, you know, they have this thing called Thanksgiving, and the whole transportation system often gets clogged up because everybody goes home for Thanksgiving, big thing. But and you know, Christmas in some countries, same. You go home, there's a feeling of going home where it's all good. I remember once when I was travelling, hitchhiking, they're waiting to serve dinner and Jeeva's still rambling on. I gotta, and I remember I was like, this is how bad I had it once. I was in Melbourne. All my family was up in Queensland. It was like 2 days before Christmas, I decided I'm going home for Christmas. I had this thing, because I was, at that particular time, I was relatively friendless. I was here on my own. And I didn't have any money, so I hitchhiked for 2 days. And it was great. It was great feeling, home, feeling, you know, with my friends, with people, you know. So when we're feeling, you know, lost in this world and our mind's driving us nuts and we can't find satisfaction, and go to yoga teaching where we hear about our real home, the spiritual world, our real home, and that's where what we're really longing for. We transcend. You're not going to solve all the problems in the material world. And that whole thing of, material concept of going home, yeah, that's nice, but it's really just it's not the real going home. It's not the real one. The real one is when we can have that real one at any moment, at any time, and for the rest of our life. All we've got to do is tune into it. And we tune into it through our chanting. That's the key to that world. So, when we have chanting here and everybody's feeling good and so on, and we're feeling, there was a person here one time at the end of a chanting session. She was just very emotional about it, and she was saying, I feel like I just want to hug everybody. That's just a little, not even fully the real thing. That's just a little glimpse of what this chanting meditation practice can bring to us, can give us, or what we can experience. We experience not just our natural relationship with the Supreme Person, the Supreme Divine, but with each other as well, because we're all a part of that spiritual family. So again, does this sound like religion? I don't know. It's not. It's an understanding of what's true. So, we don't think of it as religion. We think of it as spiritual understanding and acting on that understanding. Okay, so leave it at that. And Hari Bol, thank you.
Hello from Ceci.
Oh, thank you. Hey, Ceci. Hope you're doing well. So we're just going to chant for a few minutes, and people are going to bring the dinner out, and we'll have a short break. Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Madana, Mohana, 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 Govinda, Rama, Madana, Mohana, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Madana, Mohana. Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Dana, Mohana, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Dana, Mohana, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Dana, Mohana. Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Dana, Mohana, Gopala, Gopala Govinda Ram Dana Mohana Pala Govinda Ram Dana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Dana Mohana Pala Govinda Gopala Govinda Rama Dana Mohana Pala Govinda Rama Dana Mohana. Okay, so namaste everybody, thank you. So we're just going to just have a short break and we'll be back soon.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. This is part 2 of this meditation gathering. So, everyone know the mantras or have a mantra card? Just so, yeah. Anyway, just raise your hand if you need a mantra card, and Russellilla can arrange it. She's right there. So I'm just going to start off offering respects to my spiritual teacher. We'll chant for about an hour and a half till about 8 o'clock and have a cup of chai. Jiva will come on soon, wherever he's hiding somewhere in the crowd. Anyway, cool. So if you feel excited, then let it out. Just let's hear it. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Siddhaswaripananda Paramahamsa Iti Namine. Asya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrindam. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Hari Bol. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Bol, Nitai Go, Hare Bol, Nitai Go, Hare Bol, Nitai Go. turn. Haribo, Nitai Go. Haribo, Nitai Go, Nitai Go, Haribo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribo, Nitai Go, Haribo, Nitai Go, Haribo, your turn. Nitai Go, Haribo, Nitai Go. Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Madana Mohana. Haribo. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Let's chant together. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama. Keep going. Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama. Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama. Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama. Madana Mohana. One more time. Gopala Govinda Rama. Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama. Madana Mohana. Very nice, thank you. Should be coming forward, Jiva? Okay. We'd like to invite Jiva Krishnas to come forward to lead Kirtan.
Hey everybody, namaste. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. 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 Gopala Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Radha Mohana, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Radha Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Radha Mohana, Govinda, Rama, Radha Mohana, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Radha Mohana, Govinda, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Radha Mohana, Govinda, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Govinda, Gopala, Govinda, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shall we do another fast one or slow down a bit? I'm not sure. Okay. We'll try this one. I thought you were a mellow crew. Gopala, Gopala, Govinda, Govinda, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
So we will do a slow one. Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Madana, Mohana, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Gopala, 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 Govinda, 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 Gopala, 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 Govinda,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Gopala, 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 Govinda, 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 Gopala, 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 Govinda, 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 Gopala, 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 Govinda, 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 Gopala, 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 Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. Okay, so we're just going to do one more short one to finish up.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so namaste everybody. Thank you all very much for coming and having a nice meditation session with us. Please thank our cooks tonight. It was Rupa and Shannon. I forgot to thank last week. That was Rasalila and Joe. Was it? No. Somebody. Rasalila. And who was it? Shannon. Shannon again. Yeah, so thanks, guys. Sorry I missed you last week. I felt really bad about not giving you... I have. And I remembered right till today. No, we like to pay special recognition to those who... well, to everybody, actually, of course. We're all part of this thing. So thanks, guys. I believe we've got chai again, as usual, and hope to see you another time. Hari Bol. Thank you.